Hi everyone, it's Miss Shermane and it is so good to be with you today. I'm so glad you could join me so that we could hear another wonderful Bible story. Today we get to hear a story from the Old Testament. Now you might have heard about this guy. He's pretty well known in the Bible. His name is Noah. And he builds a big boat for God. So let's get started. Now our story's in the book of Genesis, chapter 6, 5 through 9 and 16. Noah was God's friend. Noah made God so happy. Noah tried to do just what God told him. Here's a great picture of Noah. He just loved God, and God loved him. Now Noah had 3 boys. Their names were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. One day, God said, Noah, make a big houseboat. Water is coming. Water will cover up everything, but you will be safe on the boat. And Noah did what God told him. Here's a picture of the big houseboat that Noah and his sons and their wives all started to build for God. God said, make rooms in the boat. Noah made rooms. God said, make a window in the boat. Noah made a window. God said, make a door in the boat. And Noah made a door. God said, put something to eat on the boat. Noah did what God told him. God said, put animals on the boat. And Noah did what God told him. And into the houseboat went many animals. There was Mr. and Mrs. Cat and Mr. and Mrs. Horse, Mr. and Mrs. Dog, and Mr. and Mrs. Pig, Mr. and Mrs. Grasshopper, Mr. and Mrs. Woolly Worm, Mr. and Mrs. Duck, and even more animals. They just kept coming. Looks like Penny wants to join in with those animals, huh? Now you and your family get on the boat too, said God. So Mr. and Mrs. Noah got on the boat, along with Shem, Ham, and Japheth and their wives. Then God shut the door. After a while, down came the rain, drip, 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 drip. And after a while, up came the water, splash, splish, splash, splish. Soon, there was a huge storm. water ran over the streets, and water ran over the houses. Water ran over little hills, and water ran over big hills. Now the houseboat was floating on the water. Noah was safe inside. His family was safe inside, and the animals were safe inside. Oh my goodness, there's it's a big boat, but it looks very little next to the giant waves. Noah's family had food to eat, and they gave the animals something to eat too. Then everyone waited, and they waited and waited till the water went away. They waited till God said, "It's time to get off the boat." Oh, they must have been so glad. Noah did what God told him. Mr. and Mrs. Noah got off the boat, and Mr. and Mrs. Shem got off the boat. Mr. and Mrs. Ham got off the boat, and Mr. and Mrs. Japheth got off the boat. And then all the animals got off the boat. They walked and ran and crawled and hopped. They must have been so glad to get on land again. And then God said, "Don't worry. The water won't come back. The water won't cover up the world anymore." And it never has. And God made a beautiful, beautiful rainbow. Noah did just what God said, and God took care of Noah. God takes care of all the mommies and daddies and boys and girls who do what He says. God takes care of you and me too. I just love this story in the Bible. It's so wonderful, and it just tells us how much God takes care of us. Noah knew that God would take care of him, so he did what God said. And we should do what God says too, because He takes care of us. He's got our back. Let's pray to Him right now. Dear God, thank you so much for taking care of us. Help us so that we could do what you tell us, God, so that we can follow your rules, because we know that you love us and that you have great plans for us. Amen. Thank you so much for joining me for our wonderful story about Noah. And let's remember to do all the wonderful things that God tells us to do, like loving each other and like obeying our parents and like having fun and helping others. I'll see you real soon. You all take care and have fun, fun, fun. God bless you.